Well, my dear, now look at this is the fifth question on the apparent shift or apparent positions, and that is the given here. The question is the bottom of container is 4 centimeter thick glass slab. It means the first media is glass, you can see, and the actual thickness, that is T, which I am taking T in the formula. Please, now this is the fifth numerical. T which I am taking will be 4 centimeter. And mu for that is mu of glass is 1.5. And this is, my dear, you can see. So here I am writing data, one line and one data. So here Tg is 4 centimeter, mu g is 1.5. I hope it is clear. The container contains two immiscible liquid A and B, distinguished liquid. The one with distinguished liquid is immiscible liquid, which can be distinguished. So liquid, because बच्चे I have to distinguish everything. See how they looks apparently when I look from the bottom. मैं बाहर के bottom से beaker का जो bottom है, इस beaker जो इसको contain कर रहा है, इसको contain कर रहा है, इसको contain कर रहा है. I will see. Here is the question. What is the apparent position on the outer surface? On the outer surface मतलब you will see from the out. Of course, from out देखने से ही हमको apparent दिखता है. So from the outer surface of bottom of glass slab. Outer surface सबसे नीचे कौन है? Bottom of glass slab. So outer surface from the bottom of glass slab, where is the apparent positions shifting? Again here, so मैंने पहले अभी previous sum में बताया, try to understand logically to solve the questions because you should have a method, habits कि अब कैसे करना है इसको. The second media is liquid A and the third media is liquid B. You can see. So now let us find out what is the depth. The actual depth of liquid of media A, TA, is 6 centimeter, and TA, capital A, and TB is 8 centimeter. You can see in the data. They are actual depth of A and B. Please do it fast. No need of drawing diagram. And mu of A is 1.4 and mu of B is 1.3. It is also given. So this is all according to question. Now my dear, the total apparent, I said there are three medias. Now glass, liquid A and liquid B, 3 media. So because of 3 media, there will be total apparent position shifting when will be sum of all these 3 media. So this is nothing but the total apparent or normal shift is equal to D. I have taken D and I am a D layer. This is nothing but dG plus dA, that is apparent shift in glass plus air, liquid A plus liquid B. So therefore this is D is equal to, here I am writing, therefore this is D is equal to dG is nothing but Tg 1 minus 1 by mu g plus Ta 1 minus 1 by mu A plus Tb 1 minus 1 by mu b. This is the total apparent shift because of 3 media. So catch the sums now. 1 media, no issues, a simple sum, only one formula. But if there are 2 media, if there are 3 media, then it will be add up the total apparent positions. So now my dear, I hope you understood. The answer of this is 1.33. Please you solve, all these data are given. Tg given, mu g given. So first we'll solve. TA and mu A is given, so second will solve, and TB and mu B is given, so third will solve. So please, if you need, I will substitute the value. This is Tg is 4, this is 1 minus 1 upon 1.5 plus TA is 6, this is 1 minus 1 upon 1.4 plus TB is 8, 1 minus 1 upon 1.3. So when you solve this, bache, I hope it is 1.33 plus 1.71 plus 1.85. When you solve this will give 1.33, this will give 1.71 and this will give 1.85. So the total answer will be now 3, 1, 4 and 5, 9, 8 and 7, 15 and 3, 18. I hope you are getting me. You are good students, right? So 1 and 2, 1, 3 and 4. This is 4.89 centimeter is the total apparent or normal shift when it will be from the outside. So please bache, this is the way you are supposed to do. If there are three media, glass, liquid A, liquid B, there are three media. Earlier in previous question there are two, one is water and other is a glass, cylindrical glass piece. Please, and before that there is one media only and there is one only formula is existing. So I am trying my level best to explain you. Now look at, go to the NCERT. Now the sum number NCERT exercise NCERT set. I think third question is based on the topic of real depth and apparent depth. Let us see for that. NCERT question number 3. Now when I look at this NCERT exercise problem 9.3, a tank is filled with water to a height of 12.5 centimeter. There is a tank and this tank is filled to a height of water, that is height of 12.5 centimeter. So now my dear, if you will think about it, the real water which is filled in a tank, the real water, the water which is filled in a tank is actually given in the topic. So that is nothing but, if you can understand, I am writing here data, real depth of water is given here, that is 12.5 centimeter. I hope you are understanding. That is, a tank is filled with water. That is actually nothing. We have not started. Okay. Now let's go move. Sometimes the problem way of asking different way, not only normal shift or apparent shift. This is an NCERT exercise problem 9.3. The apparent depth of needle. The apparent depth of needle. Now the word apparent depth is given. The apparent depth of needle lying at the bottom of tank. So if I will say this is a tank, you can call this as a thickness, but this is also a real depth. See the topic carefully. There is a needle. This needle. Now the image, this is object. This is needle. But now the image is obtained somewhere here. This is the image obtained. Try to understand the question. And this is the needle, my dear. I have drawn a diagram to make you to understand, so that please understand. Now there is no two media question here. This is not like that. This is water with the needle. So if we can say there is a water medium and there is a needle medium. There are two things you can see. Am I clear? But right now this question is not basis on that. Look at what is the question asking. So here apparent depth, so medium is 2 also. Again, water and needle. Okay. Needle lying at the bottom of tank is measured by a microscope to be 9.4 centimeter. Which depth? Apparent depth. Here I write. Apparent depth of needle observed by microscope at 9.4 centimeter. Try to understand, my dear. What is the Ri of water? What is the Ri of water? Now here no doubt I am observing in here. Am I clear? So we all are going from, come on, everybody, it is Ri of water with respect to air is nothing but real depth upon apparent depth. Everybody know the formula. By derivation we have done. Ri, refractive index, relation with real depth, apparent depth. Please, don't waste your time. So here, my dear, Ri of water liquid is, you all know that what is Ri I supposed to find. So here mu of water No need of writing here, it's understood now because I have told so many times even in my Zoom class. But here sometime it is required when we write a formula of sin I, sin R and all that. So that it make understand which angle will be in your mind. This is real depth. How much is real depth? 12.5 divided by apparent depth. And apparent depth is nothing but 9.4. And when you solve this, my dear, it will give you 1.33, that is, which is really a Ri of water. This is your Ri of water, which is but natural. This Ri of water, everybody aware about it. This Ri of water is 1.33. Sometimes the books are formulated in such a way that they give by themselves a standard or the right or the which is the real value the same itself. Like here you can see here that is 1.33. Yes, the answer is 1.33 in front of me. So that is a tank filled with water. So real depth, apparent depth, everything is over. But my dear, here one more thing is I wanted to share with you. Here apparent depth of needle lying at the bottom of tank. Here you can see the needle like this also. And this needle is looking over here. And the observation is over here in my eye. So this is the image of the needle and this is the bottom of the needle, you can see. So this is also can be a diagram this way also. I'll show you one more way. This is the tank filled with the water up to a height of 12.5 centimeter. This is the real depth or thickness also in the film, you can say. This is the real depth. Real depth. And say here is the needle lying at the bottom. This is needle. So when I will weave through the out, this needle will appear here. This is image and this is object. Apparent needle. Here I am writing apparent needle. Please. So your apparent needle is observed at what distance, my dear? That is your apparent is observed by a microscope, that is cell here is measured by a microscope. Okay, here must be a microscope somewhere. This is your microscope, you can see. So it's measured by not by eye, it is measured by microscope. The word given in the numerical. Try to understand the problem very well practically. And that is noted down as 9.4 centimeters. So, my dear, the normal relation between Ri and real and the apparent depth, Ri can be easily calculated for this medium because Ri of the medium is real depth divided by apparent depth. And here is your apparent depth. This is called as apparent depth. I have drawn this diagram in on. This is needle, this is the, they say it is here, it will go out like this. This is the ray diagram and here is the needle image. Here is the image. And this is your angle R, because this is your angle R. And here, my dear, you can see, this is the ray going, this is angle I. So here is also angle R. No need of that, but this is R and this is R. This diagram I have shown. The image will be observed. This is apparent needle, that is apparent depth I have measured here. This is real depth. So what is mu? Mu is real depth divided by apparent depth. That's all. Now my dear, here, because whatever be the liquid is filled, same is the height for, same real height for the needle also, na? Real depth for needle also 12.5, my dear. Let me tell you. This is real depth of water, you can say, or needle also, no issue. This is real depth of needle, and needle is depth of 12.5 centimeter. It is lying at the bottom. So this is real depth of water but needle is inside water. And therefore, my dear, such cases are considered as only one body. Because here this is not a, it is one system. It is not isolated system which you have done in normal shift questions. Please take care if you are understanding the sums. Here the needle का जो real depth है वही water का भी real depth है. In the diagram you can see. Because needle is lying at this depth. So here apparent depth of needle and real depth of needle doesn't make a sense. It will give you the Ri of water. That is important. Now here next question, next part is that what is the, if water is replaced by Ri of 1.63. Now if water is replaced by Ri of 1.63, you can understand Ri of 63 is nothing but Ri of liquid now, that is mu of water is now 1.63. Second step. So now what to do? Now what to do? So simple. Now it is again Ri of water, that is mu W is equal to real depth upon apparent depth. So now I will write this is mu W dash, I will put, is equal to real depth. You can see up to the same height. Water is replaced, but it is up to the same height. So real depth is same. That is, how much is real depth? 12.5 divided by apparent depth. I will take it as, my dear, say x, because I don't know. Ri I know, it is x is equal to, therefore this is 1.63 is equal to 12.5 divided by x, or divided by apparent depth. I am writing, let it be, no need of. So this is apparent depth. So how much is apparent depth? This is 1.63 upon apparent depth is equal to 12.5. Therefore, come on bachcho, apparent depth is, sorry, this is 1.63 is equal to 12.5 upon apparent depth. Therefore, apparent depth is equal to 12.5 divided by 1.63, and the answer for this 12.5 divided by 1.63, the answer is coming around near about, it is 7.7 centimeter. And I will put this as apparent depth dash, because you are mu W dash, that's all our supposition, it's all up to you. So apparent depth dash, that is the new apparent depth is 7.7 centimeter. But the question is by. By means it's a comparison from the previous to now. So now the apparent depth is 7.7 and previously the apparent depth was 9.4. Am I clear? So my dear, here what is the distance? Therefore this is the last distance by which microscope will move is nothing but, distance by which microscope will move will be nothing but, my dear, come on here, will be nothing but, earlier the apparent depth was how much? 9.4, and now the apparent depth is 7.7, so that is 9.4 minus 7.7, so answer will be somewhere 1.7 centimeter. This is the answer, my dear, for this question. So please note of it. And one more thing I wanted to tell you here, this is why we considered after solving the sum, we will come to know that this is one body. Because here we have not, for us, here the object is needle. Here the object is needle, but in previous cases where we have taken the normal shift cases where the medias are separately, they are being located and finding their apparent positions. So please take care of this kind of a sum in the exam, because here the needle ka bhi apparent depth or water apparent depth is water ka real depth is giving the needle ka real depth, my dear. Because needle is lying at the bottom, here is a word written, needle lying at the bottom of the tank is measured. So earlier the needle was at the bottom of tank, and that's apparent depth is measured by the microscope. So if needle is at the bottom of the tank, as I have drawn this diagram, so since needle is at the bottom of the tank, so of course my dear, the real depth of the needle is also 12.5. I hope it is clear. So you can write this all, and that's from my side. Thank you very much. There is one more numerical, that is numerical of 16, I hope, in your NCERT, which is based on normal shift. So you can see that numerical on the basis of the formula which I have done, or if you permit, I will do that also.